Time now to move on to round 2. Oh yeah, and we also get these neat little podium cutscenes as well. So winner in Monte Carlo. Now let's move on to Sweden. Anyway, so these are the standings after round 1. 6 drivers and 4 teams have got points on the board so far. So, pretty diverse for an opening. But now let's move on to Sweden. And these are the manufacturer points. This probably will be a sweep. Anyway, on now to Sweden.
It's no surprise that the Swedish rally has so far only been won by Scandinavians. Temperatures dropped to -30, and even with the WRC car's 4-wheel drive, studded tyres are needed to cope with the lack of grip. Some stages are even held on frozen lakes. But despite all this, Sweden is still one of the fastest rallies in the whole World Championship.
So 1 round down and still 13 to go. And now, here we are for Sweden. Temperatures drop to -30 in Sweden, and the WRC cars need special studded tyres to cope with the lack of grip. And our first stage is Frederiksberg, which is 6.3 kilometers. Let's see how good or bad this turns out to be. As long as I can keep my car on the road, then we should be fine. But then once we're done with the Novice Championship, that's when we need to focus on car setup, because that could be important for when we go further and further through the game. Alright, enough faffing, let's actually get on with this stage. I should also mention, the Swedish rally since 2002, I think there have been a few non-Scandinavian winners, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure Seb Loeb has definitely won it a few times, and I think Seb Ogier has also won here in Sweden a few times. So there have definitely been more than Scandinavians winning here in Sweden. But either way, we'll see how we go with the Hyundai. We're in the Novice Championship, so obviously this is my learning curve. I will get more used to the game as we go further and further through it. But right now, I'm just making sure that I tiptoe my way through the Novice Championship, so any early game nerves I might have, they'll pretty much be quashed by the time we get to the Pro Championship, because that's when things are really going to get serious. And hitting a little bit of tape there, but I think I should be okay with that. I'm doing alright for now, as I am 12 seconds up, and not doing too bad in the snow. As we said, I'm actually doing pretty well. I know I didn't do the Novice Championship in the first game, but that's partly because, well, I got used to the game physics soon enough that I didn't have to worry about going through the Novice Championship, because I was used to the physics by that point. But anyway, still doing pretty well at the moment, because I, unlike Monte Carlo, have not run into any walls at the moment, which is a good thing. But at the moment, I'm more or less doing what it is I need to do. And not taking my chances, especially when there are crests in the road, and I run wide, and I hit the wall. However, I still managed to win with an 18.8 second gap, in spite of my last minute error.
3, 2.
So in spite of my appalling end to stage 1, up to that point I was going really well. So these are the top 6, 4 Peugeots with 1 Hyundai and also 1 Ford Focus. And the first of the Subarus is just outside the top 6. And what's the word behind? And 1 retirement in the first stage this time, that being Kenneth Eriksson in the Skoda. And Pato Solberg set the slowest time of stage 1. So these are your standings after day 1, because we're only doing 1 stage per day. Now let's move on to stage 2, where it will be cloudy, as we're now doing Ligen. Or should I say Lien, is what we're now doing. And oh god, it's a night stage.
2, 1, 30, long left, 3.
Well, at least I can say the snow gives me plenty of visibility. However, I am still going to have to be careful through here, because I really don't want to wreck my car in the dark. But at least I can actually see where the road leads, which is thankful because of the snow, which is one advantage you get from driving in the snow at night, because it gives you the power to see what's ahead of you. I am currently petrified, and I am currently not fit to go flat out, at least not yet. I am taking this very cautiously. But anyway, I do manage to avoid hitting the trees, which is another thing I wanted to do. And got a pretty sizable gap to Grönholm at the moment. Hopefully that will continue, as I am continually and cautiously working my way through the stage. Okay. Just gotta keep this one working, then hopefully we should be okay. I am so thankful the game did not reset me there. If I was out in the snow a second longer there, then the game would have reset me and I would have lost at least 5 seconds. And I now have a huge lead up at the front. I will get a bit more used to driving at night as we go further and further through the game, but I certainly don't expect myself to just immediately get used to it and say it's easy, because you and I both know for sure that this is far from easy. And since this is the Novice Championship, I don't expect myself to be unlocking any cheat codes, and I somehow managed to rejoin in spite of hitting the fence. I think the notes did put me off just a little bit there, but either way, I have managed to get myself readjusted. The main thing I'm doing right now is just making sure that I keep my car on the road, and that's what I did. I kept it on the road and did everything I was supposed to. Oh, I should have saved that replay. Oh well, I can always save the third one. Anyway, these are your results from Stage 2. So basically, no change except for Francois Duval, this time being in the top 6. And here's the rest of the order. And another one of the Skodas is out, this time Robert Craster. So already 2 Skodas out, and the Peugeots look relatively uncontested for their spots from 2nd to 5th. Duval has gained some time, and at the moment it doesn't look like we're going to get any more teams scoring points yet. Anyway, on now to Stage 3, where it will once again be cloudy. But this time, however, at Hagfors, there will be visibility, unlike last time. And yep, the sun is out again, so we should be able to see where we're going. Alright, time for the third and final stage of Novice Rally Sweden. I figured because we're not on the Pro Championship, that's the reason why we've not unlocked any cheat codes yet. However, even for the cheat codes I don't get, I will still use them anyway, because, well, the beauty of using cheat codes is you don't have to unlock them in order to use them. You basically just have to find them on the internet, and then you can basically just use them in-game anyway. And at the moment, I'm doing okay for now. I already have a huge lead at the top anyway, so I think that's going to go uncontested, but as for everything else, well, that remains to be seen. But at least I'm doing okay for now. I am being cautious about this, but hopefully we should be able to get this to work. As I am hitting the guardrail from both sides. And right now, I'm not doing too bad. I thought for sure I'd be doing worse than this, but... And now we're going exactly how I thought we were going to go. Yeah, I am still very much a rookie at this, which is why I chose to do the which is why I chose to do the Novice Championship first.
6. 100 long right, over opens into right 2, over crest.
But anyway, here's to hoping I do manage to eventually learn from my mistakes, and I also manage to figure out what setups to use for each of my cars as well.
100 right 3, caution narrows. 100 long left 2.
And getting through those logs unscathed. So here's to hoping we can get this right. And I do, with a 10-second win. There we go, that's more like it. Alright then. So, that was a pretty good stage in the end, as I won by 10 seconds over Harry Rovanpera. Then we had Carlos Sainz in third, and then we had Francois Duval in the second forward in fifth, and then the top six was rounded off with Marcus Gronholm fourth and Gilles Panizzi in sixth. And Alistair McRae in the Lancer Evo 7 was just outside the top six. And here is the rest of the order, as we had the third Skoda out, and Richard Burns dropped out of the rally as well in that final stage. So these are your points for Sweden. Winning by over a minute ahead of Harry Rovanpera, Marcus Gronholm third, Gilles Panizzi fourth, Carlos Sainz in fifth, and Francois Duval finishes P6. And here is the rest of the order, as Marco Martin finishes best of the rest. And Alistair McRae wasn't too far outside the points either. As like with the previous round, we had 4 retirements. Not bad. Anyway. And gonna save the game, as I so often do. Okay. There we go. These are your point standings after round 2. Another easy win to me over Harry Rovanpera and Marcus Gronholm. And then behind us we have Gilles Panizzi with the 2 forwards of Sainz and Duval. I think that now moves the drivers' scoring points up to yeah, I think we've now got 8 drivers on the board, is it? Anyway. And for some strange reason, Mitsubishi has scored points. I don't know how manufacturer points work in this game, so I'm just going to roll with it. So now 5 teams are on the board for whatever reason. And another P1 with our podium cutscene. Cool and good. And now these are the standings after round 2. And yep, I was right. 8 drivers have now scored points. And still plenty more to go, hopefully. So 20 points after 2 rounds to me. And then Marcus Gronholm is next up with 8 points. And in the manufacturers, Hyundai has 20, Ford has 11, Peugeot 10, Subaru 8, and Mitsubishi 3. As Skoda and Citroën are still yet to score. Next time we'll be heading over to Corsica, coming in the next episode of WRC2 Extreme.